Felicity. Welcome to my coaching moment, the 5 dysfunctions of teams. This model was developed by Patrick Lencioni, and it's really relevant for those of you that work within teams or even team leaders. What it does is it gets to the heart of what's going on in teams when they're working well and then not working so well. So as I talk through the 5 different pieces, get curious about what is my team doing? Where are we operating well? And where are some of the dysfunctions? And just like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's a pyramid. And we need to get the base levels right first before we can focus on the higher levels. So the really base foundation level for any team is trust. Trust is the core foundation of relationships, and all of the evidence shows that when there is high levels of trust, teams are engaged, teams are resilient, teams perform, and teams stay within organisations. So trust is critical to get right. And when there is an absence of trust, often it's because people fear being vulnerable. And that's the feeling of lack of psychological safety. It's not okay to speak up. And if you have that in your team, you really need to start there. You need to start with the basics around how do we build trust. And often what we recommend in this instance is leader goes first, shows vulnerability and takes time and shows the importance of relationship and creates that safety around consequences and positive consequences. It will be okay if you speak up, if you say there's a problem, if you contradict me, for example. So that base level trust is critical to get right first. The second level that's really important to get right is the ability to have open debate, the ability to say what needs to be said, to speak up, to say there's a problem, to say you've got a dissenting view. And if that isn't working, again, this is the second base level, then there is artificial harmony. And the basic fear here is conflict. People fear that it's not okay. So what you get is a very polite team where it appears on the surface that all is well. But actually what we're not having is real conversations, radical candor, as some people would say. And it's really important to get to the heart of this. Now, things like doing 360-degree feedbacks, sharing personality profiles, having a mechanism for voicing and working through conflict can really, really help. The third level is commitment. And what's really important here is that teams do what they say and they make things happen. So when there is a lack of commitment, what you notice, the symptoms that are happening in a team, is ambiguity. So we're not quite sure what's going on, we're not quite sure what the objectives are, we're not quite sure when we need to deliver and perform on things, and really importantly, it doesn't seem to much matter if we don't do things. So what you see here is a lack of clarity around focus, a lack of clarity around how we deliver things and actually how things are delivered. So what's really important when you have this ambiguity is to set clear deadlines, to have clear project management principles at play in how you work, and to set out and reward success and team success. The fourth level is accountability. It's really important to have clear accountability for what you do, and that if you have in your team an absence of an accountability, it often creates low standards. And low standards are often there because it's okay to not deliver on your objectives. It's okay to not deliver the project on time or to the quality that was expected, because actually it doesn't matter. So your performance rating, your bonus, however you're rewarded in your business, doesn't seem to be impacted by actually what you do. So then human beings are very good at learning, that's okay. So we need to have some really clear performance metrics. We need to have a mechanism for reporting and doing that visibly so that everybody is aware of the performance metrics and what is going on. And the top level, focus on results. This is a pinnacle of teams that are really, really high performing, because what they've got already in place is trust, open debate, commitment and accountability. So teams that are really high performing, there is a focus on results. Now, if you are seeing an inattention to results, what that often means is that there is a focus on status and ego in the team. It is about me, my performance, showing up well, and this often means in contrast or in conflict with the team around me. So if this is true for your team, some of the things that you can do to address this are team-based rewards. So I can't do well if we don't do well, and collective forms of recognition and collective forms of success. Those things can really shift attention to results and to team collective results. That is, in a nutshell, the 5 dysfunctions of teams. There is a huge amount of more depth behind it. In Patrick Lencioni's book, there's actually a questionnaire, so you can go to it and you can actually rate your team right now. So if as a team leader you're looking at this could be a great tool to do right now. In times of change, often we find, interestingly, teams either get much stronger in times of adversity, or the cracks just get bigger. Get curious about where is our team right now, and if you are a team leader, maybe use that as a framework. Get the questionnaire, get everybody to do it anonymously, so you've got some understanding about what are the levels that are working well and what aren't doing so well. And there's a huge amount of resources and tips that you can build on to address based on where your team is operating. Good luck with it. Hope you find it useful.